If you're watching this video, you're an addict. And let me tell you how I know. But first, I'm Deb. I like to share my human experiences to help you gain confidence in yours, along with tips and tricks to just help everyone level up. Because why not? That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. I love leveling up and I want to level up those around me. So if that's you, welcome. And within this, I'm also going to share 3 tips that anybody can do to level up and help address your addiction. I know that you are an addict because you are watching this video. You most likely are not a subscriber and probably came across it through scrolling, which means you're probably addicted to your phone. Our phones are magnificent creatures. They give us the power to communicate worldwide, to let us know what's going on with worldwide events. They help, how much of everyday life has become simpler, having our planner in our hand, having our bank account balances and transactions in our hands, having just doing documents. Like I'm thinking work brain here because I work at a bank. So, there's like you're always doing e-signs and like everything, so much is done by email. Honestly, I'm surprised I even have a job doing what I do because so much can be done electronically. And with that, it allows us having instant access to information, instant access to other people. And that's something that if you don't have strong boundaries against, then it really will start to eat you up. And there was a time where I would not check my phone in the morning. I might listen to podcasts or YouTube videos. But other than that, I would get out into nature. I would do my recordings and then I would come back, channel a message to go with the recording. Whatever I was doing out in nature to show off was purely just for the entertainment, grab people's attention because the people were on Instagram, not on Facebook, but I enjoyed writing. So I had to like create these things to post, of which I think started a following in the adventure world when really I wanted a following in the spiritual world, self-development world. So it's kind of backfired because like I don't really care to share my adventures. 90% of my outdoor life or personal adventures are not shared on social media. And uh, because that's my boundary, that's my life. So I would create and I would post, and most of the time I would hop off. I would do like an afternoon session of replying to messages and comments to, you know, engage and build that trust because, like, yes, there's wisdom to be shared with us all. And that's where engagement and interaction comes from. But when you're sitting there scrolling, think about this. I don't know what you do for a job. I don't know how you feel when you go to parties or get in front of large groups, but think about when you're, or maybe even a crowded grocery store, or when you're in traffic. Like most humans, when they get around a lot of other humans that are not people they have chosen, a lot of times you're like a birthday party or a wedding, that's people that you have hand selected to be in your energy, people that you know are going to be there, people that you feel good around. And but when you're in a public setting, you're subjected to a lot of energies that you don't have control over, of which there's the duality of Earth because, like, yes, we're projecting everything out. So, like, everything that's within our experience is there because of us. But also, if you're not in tune to your energy, you're probably not going to be in control of who's coming into your environment because most people don't have that level of advancement in energy work. And that's a whole nother topic. If you are wanting to explore depth, the depth of energy work to that extent, I'm here for it. But most people can't match me in that conversation. Not saying one thing or another, it's just that's where my expertise and experiences lie. And I have not surrounded myself with other people who also share that expertise. So that's kind of my next step of leveling up for myself. Anyways, you subject yourself to lots of energies that aren't your choice. That energy gets absorbed. Your brain gets taken over by that. I mean, think of TV. If you're watching TV before bedtime, you lay down at night, your brain's probably replaying what happened in that episode. And when you're out and among public and you have all this energy, your phone is still giving you all that energy as you're scrolling. Just tapping on the search feed of social media, you are instantly subjected to 12 and a half profiles, 12 and a half subjects, 12 and a half energies. And each one of those energies is either curated or projecting or trying to manipulate you or sway you or grab your attention or show off egotistically. And maybe it's to give information, but even if you're learning, that's 12 and a half subjects. Who handles 12 and a half subjects in a day? When kids go to school or you go to college or you go to work, nobody is going to give you 12 and a half subjects in one day to learn. And that's what our brains are bombarded with just one tap. Just one tap. You do one scroll, and one scroll really changes that into 3 pages down, and you're already at 2-3 dozen of different energies going into your brain. Do you think our brains have developed the stability that is needed to handle that? They're not. And so it floods our body with feel-good chemicals of like, oh, this is exciting, this is interesting, this is new, I want to learn about this and I want to learn about that. And so it's like, it's addictive. So that brings me to the 3 things that anyone can do to level up their life. And number 1 is a social media detox. Set a time frame. If a day is all you feel you can do, start with a day. If it's 3 days, a week, a month, I suggest a month, because with anything, a month is good. It gives you time to go through the adjustment period, because you're going to have those cravings of wanting to grab the phone and check, and you're going to have that adjustment of like, okay, this is coming up and I have to push that feeling aside and replace it with something else. So that's going to be week 1. Week 2 is really going to be with the withdrawals, because week 1, you're going to be like, I can do this. You're going to push through. You're going to find things. Week 2, you're going to get frustrated maybe. It's going to go one of 2 ways. You're either going to really notice how addicted you were and how many emotions it was either covering up, or you're going to realize how empty your life was without it. Or you're going to be thriving. You're going to be like, wow, I have so much more time in my life. I'm replacing it with this hobby or this hobby and that. And so actually, here's a tip within that tip. Before you do this social media detox, as you're scrolling for one of your last scrolls, if you're exposed to 12 and a half people right off the bat, within those 12, or how many ever scrolls it takes you, have a pen and paper handy, write down 3 to 5 things that you see while you're scrolling that you're like, oh, this is interesting to me. Write down, let's start with 3. Write down 5. Within those first 12, if there's nothing within that 12 that really sparks to you, then okay, like you can go on to the next scroll, like keep scrolling till you get 5 things. But B, if you have to scroll many times to get 5 things that interest you, then what is Instagram doing to your brain? Why do you have to look at 12, 24, 36? That's just 3 pages. That's like and you're done. Why do you have to look at 36 different things to find 5 things that interest you? Why is Instagram showing you that much of a ratio that doesn't interest you? That's a psychological problem for society, for you as a human who is not built to do that. I feel like my bed is shaking my tripod a lot, and you can probably notice. This tripod is like super cheap. It came lopsided, brand new, and I hate returning things. Okay, so social media, like, I hope my point is coming across of how much information and energy is being placed in front of our very special and delicate vision and energy and subconscious. And a lot of it we might not even be interested in. If I start tapping on all the things I'm like, not interested in, don't show me this, don't show me this, I get more stuck doing that than I get stuck on scrolling. It's ridiculous. So, write down 5 things. That way you know what your hobbies are, your interests are, something new that you want to learn. You're making you're seeing the bright side of social media. You're using it for information to learn about yourself and to grow in a subject. Great. So you have your 5 things. That's it. You're going to be done with social media. If you use social media for business, lay out, if you're a great business owner, it's not that hard to lay out a month ahead. Your clients are going to be supportive because it's a mental break that's going to be beneficial to you to grow as a person and provide better services to your clients, right? So set up automatic posts if you need to. You know, I do understand you want constant content consistently, right? And I get that. So take the extra time that it takes. I mean, maybe if you're posting every day, maybe cut it down to every other day and pre-make the content, schedule it out for a month while still maybe putting a post, automatic messaging, letting people know that you're unavailable. Like, I feel like, I mean, if a month is too much, don't go a month. But I really doubt anyone that's watching this can, most people can go a month, right? And then, so, I mean, yeah, a month is important because week 2, you're going to go 1 of 2 ways. By week 3, you're going to really start noticing even more. And then by week 4, you're going to be asking yourself, do you even need it in your life? If you're using it for business, you're going to have all sorts of more ideas because you've stepped away and from the patterns and techniques that you've been doing, that your brain is going to come up with new techniques, new ideas. It's going to be able to kind of like take out the trash to allow newness to come in. So as a business owner, that's going to be huge for you. And as an individual, hopefully you took those 5 things that you were interested in and worked on those 5 things. Of those 5 things, maybe circle 3 of them that are really top priority or are going to have the biggest, well, 3 that are like, yes, okay, these are something I can see going somewhere. You know, just narrow it down. Like, which one can you work on that's going to have the biggest impact out of it, right? Like, what cause and effect? Which one are you going to get the most out of? All right, so far we've discussed social media break, what that's going to do for you. Number 2, as you're on this social media break, you're going to have extra time. Trust me, you will. Because if it's not extra time from not being on your phone, it's going to be extra time. I mean, it just will. You're going to have extra time. You're going to rearrange things. And you're going to start walking around your neighborhood. I would like to say daily, but some people that's not going to be realistic. Although habits are a thing, and the more you just throw something in as a habit, get your body used to it. Our bodies really are designed that way. Like, we're programs, we're habitual. That's what we like. Kind of, have you ever met a dog or a cat? They are alarm clocks. They have things down. They have routines. And if you step outside of that routine, they don't let you forget. Our bodies are much of the same. Yes, we have the free willpower to override that, but most people don't utilize their willpower. And that's what the awakening part is becoming aware of your authenticity and your willpower. So we're going to go for walks in our neighborhood. Because even though you've driven past something so many times, hundreds of times, when you're walking, it's different. Your body slows down. You have the rhythm of your footsteps. Your brain is able to take things in slower. And it just allows you to be more present. And within that walk, you're going to be able to practice presence. And that's going to roll over into every other aspect of your life. You're going to notice things on that walk. Trust me on this. It doesn't have to be a long walk. It can be 1 house length. If you're like, I'm going to go look at the neighbor's flowers every morning, walking 1 house length, that's fine. But you got to start somewhere. It gets you into nature. As you notice things, you naturally fall into a sense of gratitude. And you start to notice how much you don't notice. And in that, that's the biggest lesson, is when you notice how many times have you driven past something and you've never noticed that before. You've never noticed this before. I've lived in this town for 15 years and there's still things that I notice every day that's new. I look for those things because it brings me in the present. And things are always changing. The third thing, and this might sound a little weird, but it's just what came to me, and it came to me really fast. It's bless your food and bless your water. If you want to say gratitude upon waking up, that's wonderful as well. But I feel like that's one that's more of a heartfelt one that happens automatically when you're ready. But blessing your food and your water. Whatever this avatar is, it requires food and water. And it all has different energies. And everyone has their own beliefs of what food is good for them and what food is not good for them. But I will say, food that is in its most wholesome, natural form, that carries the most natural form of sunlight, because it grows from sunlight. And so it holds sunlight, and that's what gives us energy, because we are light. And the more geometric it is, there was one time where I pretty much went a whole year where I didn't eat anything unless it was like geometric. So basically, fruits and vegetables, and it was amazing. But bless your food and your water. Bless your energy drinks. Bless your donuts. Bless your Big Mac. Whatever it is that you're putting into your body, just bless it. Bless that it will nourish you. Thank you for its existence and supporting you. And that really has nothing to do with God or religion. It's just, you're just saying thank you to the food, and you're being grateful for it. And maybe I'm realizing I don't know the difference between like blessing and gratitude, but blessing is different than gratitude. And just, that's the third step. Super simple, right? So that's kind of it. That's my 3 tips. We went through the question of, are you an addict? After listening or watching to this video, how do you feel about social media consumption? For me, I know like my 12, it's like, oh, you have canyoneering here, you have wingsuiting here, you have highlighting here, you have Cirque du Soleil over here, and then you have trauma healing over here, and you have like, what else is in my feed? You have, it's just like yoga, but there's all these things like in one snapshot. I don't know about you, but if I had 12 people talking to me at the same time, it would drive me crazy. Just 2 people talking. Well, I can usually handle 2 people, but you get 3 people in there, and that's a lot. So then you quadruple that and put that at 12 energies trying to talk to me at the same time in a split second. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. So that's even more intense. Wow. Like, what have we done to ourselves? And I know that you're addicted because, for me, like, I don't spend much time on the search page. I mean, there are times that I spend time on the search page, and this last year has been really different, mostly because like I was in a situation where I completely lost my personality, and I kind of did it on purpose just to experiment and see where it was going and what was happening and how far I could lose myself before actually losing myself. And I lost myself. I definitely did. Forgot where I was going with that. Okay, so social media, lost myself. Okay. Beforehand, when I had a healthy relationship with social media, I would do my posting, and I would, if I were to look at other people's accounts, I was specifically going to people's accounts. They were my specific friends, my core group that I would go to, or most of the time I'd be tagged in things. So it was that, check out those, handle those. After posting, it's nice to engage with other accounts of the same following. So I would do that. But ultimately, social media only took up a very small percentage of my time, and it was always blocked out time frames of the day, 2 to 3 times a day. That was it. Other than that, if I had my phone in my hand, I was adulting, or I was recording memories or content. And so I was going to people's pages specifically because I didn't have an addiction to the phone. I didn't have empty time to fill with the phone. Now, if you found my page, you're probably not going to my page specifically. And I know that because I don't really have a following. And most of my friends, well, we talk in person or outside of social media, and it's just like, yeah, I'm there and I pop up, but they're not clicking on me directly. So you probably came across this video through scrolling, of which there's probably an addiction in there somewhere with this subconscious psyche. So I just invite you to investigate that and ask yourself, how is social media serving you? And how are you serving it? It's nice to be aware of these things. So we've addressed the addiction. We've addressed the tips of take a break. Schedule it out if you need to. Take a break, get outside, be present with your surroundings and where you exist. Because if you don't have time for a walk, why are you existing in a space? We're here to exist. You're here to know what your surroundings are. You're here to be aware. You're here to be present. And number 3, bless what you're putting inside your body and show gratitude for your body and your soul and your experience here on earth. My name's Deb. I like to share my human experiences, hoping it helps you gain confidence in yours. I'm working on posting at least 3 times a week. Much love. Make sure to like, click, subscribe, comments, ask me questions. I'm here for it. Much love.